Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, so parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Just take what works for you and leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. So I did a little short meditation here, and I chose the first two cards. The underlying energy from the bottom of the deck for the reading is the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is a visionary, someone who's looking forward into the future to look for better ways to do shift. This king is considered the sexiest of them all, and is the kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. He's charming, so he can get away with things, and has a good personality. People enjoy being around him because he's optimistic. And this is talking about someone that wants to make the world a better place. We have the energy of the fire, that's the element. And so the element of fire, there's, is represented by the wooden wand. So the wood fuels the fire, and then that's about taking passionate action in the world. The energy of the King of Wands is about moving forward into the future, basically. And the fire signs, they have protection from fire. This is represented by the salamanders with their tail in the circle and the lion. Come on up, Stella. Oh. So sorry, my cat. I thought she wanted up, but she just left. So this is talking about protection from fire. And there's a little salamander running here as well. Now, when a while back, I noticed that this looks like there's a face on the back here. So there's two eyes here, there's a mustache, and there's smoke coming out. And I thought, oh, that just might be because he's smoking hot. Or maybe it's because where there's smoke, there's fire. The thing to understand about the King of Wands is he's someone that is really values his freedom. And of all, just like all of the fire signs are Aries. Whoa, what are you doing, Stella? The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and they value their independence more than other signs. So quite often they're later on to settle down. And so sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. Sometimes the King of Wands, his energy, his love of new energy, new visionary projects can bleed into his romantic life. So sometimes it takes him a little bit longer to settle down than the other signs. The Magician is talking about energetic upgrade. And so we have an energetic upgrade coming in here for this reading. This painting was inspired by little dragonfly playing in a puddle when I was in Peru and in the jungle. And she's this is talking about she's stirring the waters of bliss and creating a beautiful flower. Out of the mud grow water lilies. And so the energetic upgrade, the Magician energy, this is about 100% infinite potential. You have the tools that you need. You just need to use the tools in the right order and learn how to use them, and then move forward in life. And life's an adventure. We have this talking about the transition. Some sort of transition is coming in here in this reading. This is, a lot of people are frightened by this card when they see it, because the Grim Reaper is kind of a scary looking guy, but he really represents change, not so much physical death. And so this is talking about one cycle ending and a new cycle beginning. It's talking about light after the end of the tunnel. We just had the solstice last night, so we're in the longest days of the year, so there's more light than there is dark. If you're feeling a little dark right now, a lot of people are there's some heavy energy on the planet right now. There's no doubt about that. So, but there is light at the end of the tunnel, and there is always change happening. This older person here is trying to fight the change. They're like, we don't want you to come through town. And the Grim Reaper's, well, too bad, I'm coming through anyway. And no matter how much this older person is bartering with the Grim Reaper, he's like, change is coming. You can count on, they say, two things, death and taxes, but you can also count on change. Change is happening every second of every minute of every day, whether we recognize it or not. And we have this energy of these two young people here. And they are excited because there's someone new in town. If you've ever lived in a small town, you'd understand. Yay, there's someone new in town. So this is talking about maybe it'll be an interesting morning or something, There could be, and so they have, the one has a flower in his hand, and this is representing the bloom of new life coming through. The king's been trampled. This is not really representing an actual king. It's representing government, states, and just systems that are in place that we thought, oh, those will never end. It'll always be this way. This, I'll always love to do this, that type of energy. And then, one morning you wake up and you're like, oh, I don't love doing that anymore. And, maybe I'll do something else, and everybody's shocked, even you. But it's just the way you feel, like, okay, I've done that enough and I'm ready for something different. We have the Six of Cups here, which is representing illusions. This can be talking about your childhood. We have two people here, and it looks like children playing in a yard, and they're playing with these flowers. But that's an illusion, because when you look again, this is a gnome and this is a little woman. And this little woman, she looks like an old hag from the back, and she looks like a young woman from the front. They're both wearing this white mitt, which is saying they don't want to get their hands dirty. And, they don't want the flowers. Like the old hag is like, we don't want your stupid flowers. They're not even yours to give away. And the young woman is like trying to be nice, and she's explaining why they don't want the flowers. We're dressed in our finery, and thank you for offering. And it's just like the old hag's like, come on, let's get going. And then we have the white flowers here in tarot represent innocence. But these flowers are not innocent because they're from the nightshade family. They're actually called the devil's trumpet, but it's Datra. And Datra is, it would be highly toxic to children and to pets. Like you wouldn't grow this plant, and you wouldn't let children play with it. It could make them sick if they ingest it. So Datra is sometimes used by shamans in their ceremonies to cause visions so that you can heal from childhood wounds. And then this is talking about this watchman in the background that looked like they were watching over the children is actually some stranger just walking by. So no one's watching them, but they're not children, so it's okay. But it's talking about maybe there's an illusion about your childhood that you are trying to remember. Your subconscious mind is heavily imprinted on you. So in your, psychosomatically, your body remembers what happens to you. But if you can't remember what that is, this is sometimes talking about a need for forget. Sometimes it is like you can remember what it is, and this is talking about a need for forgiveness. Card is about reconciliation. Now, reconciliation would imply that you need to forgive someone about something. But you could forgive someone and not reconcile with them. Forgiveness is really for yourself. When you forgive someone, it opens your heart back up to experiencing new opportunities. And particularly in love, that's what this is about. If you close down your heart, it's not much fun, So this is talking about being able to heal your heart and move forward. This can also talk about some hidden illusions, something that happened in your childhood that maybe you're trying to work through. And, it can be causing issues for you well into adulthood unless you take care of it. So it's weird, though, because sometimes we don't remember it. So we'll get triggered by something, and then boom, all of a sudden it's in your face. And so we could have some sort of energy there. But remember, the underlying energy is an energetic upgrade. So, and that's such a pretty dragonfly. This energy here is talking about, this is a harsh energy. This is, being stabbed in the back and left for unalive. Hoping there's been a collaborated effort of thoughts and backstabbing energy, wanting to get you down on the ground and keep you there. Like, this is talking about, hopefully they don't get up this time. It's that type of energy. But we do have the light at the end of the tunnel here as well, and the light at the end of the tunnel. And, this is talking about, we just had the solstice. So even if we're in the shortest nights or shortest days and longest nights, there's always hope for that to shift. And this can also represent eclipse energy. So this person, you're down on the ground here and not wanting to get back up, basically. So this is the swords in tarot represent the element of air. It's about your thoughts and other people's thoughts, and it's about your mental intelligence, discipline of your mind. They're double-edged swords, so it's intuition as well as logic. And this person has 10 swords in their back here. This can represent over a decade of energy. This energy came in at the beginning of 2026 as that, like, kind of a whole decade of energy. 2025 is a 9-year. And so that ended cycle. And this is about the ending is now turning into a rebirth. Very similar to the energy of this card here. And so his right hand is in the form of a blessing, representing that in the end, you might look back at this time in your life and say, this was a blessing in disguise. And this can represent, like, as I said, over a decade of energy, like of being stabbed in the back, even more. It could be one person annually stabbing you in the back, like 10 times. This could be, 10 different people or even 10 groups of people. Basically, usually it depends on how much money you have. This is really nasty energy. It's not like someone sort of doesn't like you. This is like taking you down in every way that they can so that you stay down and you don't get back up. And this energy is sometimes when these two cards come out together, there's some secret societies that have a thing called the slow dagger, which is where you take yourself out of business, basically. And, the white glove treatment, like where no one wants to touch you. And so it's a concerted effort to do this type of energy. So we don't know for sure what it's about, but the two cards together quite often do mean that. We do have the transition coming here. You're getting back up, though. God is handing you, and the universe are handing you this wand here. So this is about having passion for life again. And God's saying, get up. The universe is saying, get up. Come on, get up. It's time to get up. There's new energy coming in. You're going to love it. You're going to wake up in the morning and feel like, wow, I'm actually happy to be alive again. It's that type of energy. So if you're in this energy, know that, it is coming into transition. And the energy is a little bit heavy right now. We do have a full moon coming up on the 29th, and we also have Mercury in retrograde on that same day. And that energy sometimes can be like kind of like a lot of misunderstandings and communication, or lack of communication. There's nothing worse than when you're down in this position and you finally have the courage to ask for help, and no one does. And so that is the energy I'm picking up here, like asking for help, but no one did. So then what do you do? It's kind of like when I was in Peru in the jungle and I was with the shaman, I was in the jungle doing ceremony. That was one of the things that they talked about, that one of the hardest things for a lot of people is to ask for help. But then if you get the courage to ask for help and nobody does, that's like really, really challenging. So that's why I'm doing this channel, is like, in case you're in that, if someone's in that position, I wouldn't be so inclined to say I want to help people. I want to empower people to get back up. And so this is talking about the moon energy, and it's, yeah, like this is this energy. I can feel it. It's kind of heavy coming in. There's a lot going on in the planet right now, and some of it seems really hopeless, and it feels kind of like like just heavy. And it's just the times. There's times when it feels really bubbly and light. So, the moon energy, in the sign of Cancer, it's talking about basically how your private, like how you live your life, and then as opposed to your public life. And so, and this is demonstrated here by the wolf and the wolf and the dog. This is the wolf. This is the dog, and this is the lobster wanting to get on his path of glory. But man, he's thinking, how the heck am I going to climb out of this water? I'm so vulnerable. I mean, if either one of these see me, like, how am I going to get away from them? I'm a lobster. But he decides, I want to go on my path. So this can be talking about your domestic side, like you maybe have been isolating a little bit too much, more domestic, and hiding yourself. And then this energy could be, maybe you're a wild child and you need to come home and check and see if you have any mail. And like this is talking also about the eclipse season. And we are about halfway through the eclipse season. We did have a lunar and a solar eclipse on February 17th and March 3rd. So all of this energy is kind of saying that, there's light at the end of the tunnel. So hang in there, get back up. That's my best advice I can give you right now. Get back up. Life is beautiful. Out of the mud comes the water lilies. We have a Knight of Swords rushing in. So the knights would be responsible for delivering communication from the kings and the queens for the court. They would travel back and forth for, from kingdom to kingdom, sometimes, for days to get messages delivered. That was the only form of long distance back then. So here it's talking about this knight is in a panic. Like it's like this knight is sometimes considered a fool rushing in, because the energy is like, it's raw. We have his sword here. We can only see half his sword. And, that may mean he only has half the information. We can't see the point, so maybe he can't either. He's got a big red flag on the back of his helmet. And there's these, even the sky, the clouds look like, like they're being ripped, And this is talking about, he's pushing this horse very hard. In tarot, horses represent your heartfelt energy and passion, and he's running against the wind through barren land. So generally this is saying, like, he's from the King of Swords. He's taking information, I feel, to the people that are responsible for the swords in the back energy, because that's who he would work for, more of that element. And so he could be running from the King of Wands, maybe maybe for whatever reason, maybe because he doesn't want you to be in this passionate energy. Now, I'm not sure, this energy of the King of Wands could be your energy, or it could be someone coming, someone that you ask for help from, or someone that, is coming towards you. But this night, I definitely feel it's coming towards this energy here. And I feel it's because they heard you got back up, and they thought, no way. There's no way you got back up. How? Like they just can't believe it. And so it's like, dang it, she or he got back up again. And now we're going to have to think of something else again. So here we go. But I feel that what you did is that it's sitting on this passion for new life, is you decided to get up and rest. And you decided to put your mind at rest. That represents this energy, the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind. Chung, chung, chung. Just hang them on the wall, and laying there and just meditating and praying and really feeling in your heart, what is it that I want to authentically, like, what is it in life that's going to give me this passion? Because you're feeling like, and this is God stepping in after you asking for assistance. So, sometimes when no one in the physical world will help you, then the Most High steps in, and you find out, oh, well, he's been there the whole time. But he steps in a more powerful way to let you know, hey, the universe and I have your back here. It's okay. Get up. And it's about getting back up and working through the hidden illusions and moving forward. It's this energy. It's, you know, you have your subconscious mind, which a lot of people, you know, it's usually formed by the time you're 5, 6, 7, and most of us don't remember very much about our childhood unless it was traumatic, and maybe something happened that you remember. I have some memories from my early childhood around the age of 3 when I was in an accident. And I remember that like it's like a movie that runs in my head. And I remember certain things about that time frame because I had a head injury. And but then and then I remember at kindergarten crying because I wanted my mummy. But I don't, after that, like, you know, it's murky. So it's sometimes we remember the more traumatic things, or, you know, the more exciting things if we're lucky, I guess. And then the unconscious mind would be your soul's needs. So your soul, you know, most people will recognize I'm a human being with a soul, but your soul, from your soul's perspective, you're a soul traveling in a human body. And as you know, a soul, if your soul's needs are not met, it'll start arguing with your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. And the next thing you know, like, you're in a battle in your mind. It's an inner conflict. So it's really important to control your mind, not let your mind control you. And put these three, get them working together. And the best way to do that is to meditate and pray, quiet the mind, hang it up on the wall, put it to rest, and feel in your heart. What do you want? What are your authentic desires? Because if you can get these three working together and plug that into your heart and your authentic desires, then you'll be able to go on your path. And we have the energy of the 7 of Pentacles. Now, this card has been coming up so much, and I feel it's because there's a lot of people feeling this energy right now. Like, so much is shifting around us, and it's kind of like, this is learning about, you know, how much time, money, and energy you want to invest in a specific project, or in the people around you, or in a special, you know, like in a love situation, that type of energy. It's talking about lifestyle. So the pentacles are represented by coin because, of course, to have a good lifestyle, you need to have money for sure. But you could have all the money in the world, and if you don't have your health, and you don't have love in your life, and you're not living your best lifestyle, well, then, you know, you're not going to enjoy life to the fullest. And so this is talking about, this person is used to being successful. This is 7 Pentacles. There's only 10 available. 10 would be like billionaire, trillionaire, you know, and 9 would be multimillionaire, and 8 would be millionaire. And so this is someone that's used to being successful. They've done well, but somehow things just aren't working. And I do feel a lot of people are feeling this energy. It's going to be with us for a while because of the energy of Neptune. Neptune is a very big planet, and it just moved. It was for 14 years, it was in the sign of Pisces, which is like the senior executive of the tarot, or I mean of the horoscope. And it's a water sign. And so this is some, you know, an authority. And it's kind of like we all learned, okay, this is how we do it. And you know, Pisces is a little more forgiving and a little bit more idealistic, and things will work out, don't worry. And about a month and a half ago, Neptune, it finally moved into the next sign, which is Aries, which couldn't be any more different, really. We have a water sign that's a senior executive, and then we have the very first sign in the zodiac, Aries, and it's a baby, like a newborn. screaming its head off because it's not getting its way. And that's because we can't figure out how to do things anymore, because the Neptune kind of controls how we approach relationships, and and how we approach life. And finally, after 14 years in Neptune, we figure it all out, and then bang, we're in this Aries energy now, and we're having to relearn. So sometimes a lot of people are feeling this right now. So just be aware of that. It's not just you. And sometimes you could just tweak it a little bit and it'll work again. It's kind of being, you can't be stubborn about it. You have to decide, okay, I'm going to have to look at it from another angle like he's doing, and decide, like, either I've got to do something different because I'm not getting the, I've tried everything I can think of. Like, maybe I need to do something, think out of the box and do something different. Ask the King of Wands. He likes doing that kind of energy, but not everybody likes that. It's like when your phone updates and you're like, like you just figured out how to use it and now it doesn't work again. And you got to, you have to learn how to use it all over again. But then you sometimes admit, okay, there were some things that are a little bit easier, but an energetic upgrade doesn't always feel comfortable, I guess. And look at, we have this cutthroat energy that I'm talking about here. So yeah, this can represent, this person, this is like cutthroat energy. This is conflict coming in from the outside. And I figured it was something about this. So this is kind of confirming for me. The Knight of Swords is running towards the sword energy, saying, oh my God, they got back up. Can you believe it? They actually got back up. And now, dang, this could be the King of Wands getting back up. Could be that energy. And just remember also that all of the characters in tarot are not gender specific. The energy is masculine or feminine, and this could be a male or a female in their masculine energy. We don't really have any females here as of yet, but the females could be males in their feminine energy as well. So just keep that in mind. And so this is talking about, cutthroat energy. And, this energy is running towards this energy. They got back up. Now what? And it's kind of like, he's had to fight off these two people, and they've laid down their swords, and they're not used to this energy from this energy. They're like, what the heck happened here? Well, God happened. And so they've got a new passion for life again. Just when they thought they had them down, it's like, dang it, now we got to, and like they're like, and this also can represent your energy and 3 different versions of you. And you've been meditating and praying, and you have learned to quiet your mind, and now you're making your mind work for you. And so the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind have come together, and you're determined that you will fight for what is yours. You're not laying here on the ground. You're getting back up, and you're going to go back on that path, regardless of the dog and the wolf howling at the moon. You're ready. You're ready to shine, ready to climb out of that shell. And the moon is in the sign of Cancer. So then we also have this energy of the 2 of Pentacles. So this card can talk about someone who's been very busy multitasking. Now, multitasking is a really good skill, but I feel the reason you're multitasking is because this energy. This can say, multitasking, keeping busy can gain momentum, starting off really small and a small ship on a small wave, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and gathers momentum. And then the next thing that you have is this back and forth energy with the pentacles. And so this can be talking about juggling. It could be juggling, work hard, play hard, especially in this energy of this full moon. It could be talking about juggling 2 different lifestyles. It could be juggling your home life, your business life. It could be maybe you work 2 jobs so that you can pay the bills, or maybe you're going to school and working, and you're having to do both. It could be a lot of different things. And then sometimes it can be about juggling morals. And so this card is saying juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. Quite often this energy can be like, you appear to be one way in public, and then, but you're really behind the back. You're really like, I don't know, belong to some secret society that likes to do this type of energy. Then we have the world energy coming in here. So the world is the end of a cycle. So we have so much transition in this reading, and this has been coming up. And I feel that's a big part why a lot of people are feeling this energy. You know, there's a lot of, like, we have transition here. We have potential transition here. Definitely, if someone doesn't get up, that's going to be a transition. We have transition here and hidden secrets coming out. You know, we have the world card is number 21, and it's saying that the fool has completed the journey. You've learned everything you can from this. You've been successful in getting, yay, you got back up. Way to be. It's going to be a whole new world now. You're going to have a new passion for discovery, for feeling like a little bit more like life is worth living. And this is talking about the world being in a place that is, you've learned everything you can, but you're going to, when you go into your next cycle, you're going to take that information that you've learned, but you're not carrying a lot with you. Like, you don't need to. You're on a new cycle. And we have the Wheel of Fortune turning. So the Wheel of Fortune is saying your fortune is changing. There's some really good energy coming in for you. This is talking about this energy there's actually 3 wheels turning, the past, present, and the future, coming together in synchronicity into God's plan. We have the Hebrew letters of for the name of God here, and it's Tetragrammaton. And it's a very interesting energy because it's about equalization of all forces coming together. And so the past, present, and the future come together, and all of a sudden, wow, boom. It's like, you know, when God has your back, God has your back. That's the energy. And then we have Rebel with a Cause. So this is about, I feel this is you taking action. Now, it definitely could be male or female, that this could be your energy, that you're ready for a new adventure. You're ready to move forward in a new way. That's definitely representing the Knight of Wands energy. We also, on February 6th, we had February 17th, I'm sorry. We had the Chinese New Year, and we moved from the year of the snake into the year of the fiery horse energy. Very similar to, this is Sagittarius energy, and the two are very, very similar. The fiery horse energy is talking about, you know, that passionate action, a big red plume on the back of the hat, representing the energy of, you know, impulsive energy, maybe a hot temper. But you see how he's reining his horse in. He's learned how to rein that emotion in and discipline the mind to get it working for him. And so, and look at in the background here, the pyramids are in the background, saying that he's explored them, and he's off ready to go explore another adventure. It's that type of energy. And this is talking about heartfelt energy and passion. And so this is representing this taking passionate action. The Rebel with a Cause has learned to discipline his mind and his emotions so that he's not as impulsive as he used to be. Has a better result that way. In the fiery horse energy, very, very similar, almost exactly the same energy. But there's a warning that comes with it. With the fiery horse energy, we'll be in that energy until February 6th of 2027. And it's just, in the fiery horse energy, you don't want to be impulsive. If you've ever seen a horse take off with the bit in its mouth when it gets spooked, it's dangerous. If you've ever ridden a horse and had them do it or seen it happen, it's dangerous because they can run very fast and very far, take you way off your path, and you're hanging on for dear life when that happens, because they're not, you know, they could run out in traffic, whatever it is, you could fall off, they could trample you, they could drag you. So it's talking about avoiding impulsive energy. And it's also talking about when you set your goals, the fire horse energy makes you want to really set high achievement goals. And you want to make sure you give yourself enough time, and it's sitting right on the rest. Being able to take some time to rest in between, so that you are strong and you make it to the finish line. And then we have the hangman energy. So the hangman hangs from the tree of knowledge. This is him wanting to, before he takes action, it's representing this energy. This energy tonight is, in this reading, is talking a lot about there's some sort of transition coming up. You want to maybe take some time to rest a little and prepare for it. We could be, when this kind of energy comes in, it's kind of like, I always get this kind of feeling like, oh, something's going on. We're going to hear about it, you know, at the top. The elites, the people that run the countries, we'll probably hear about it in the next few days. So the hangman hangs here, and he, until his aura is bright. And he's hanging upside down because he wants to look at something from every perspective before taking action, and then he'll take action. So that's the energy of the Knight of Wands, having learned that, to do that. And sometimes this can talk about energy that's been stuck for a while. And look at this, the truth is coming out. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. And this energy is just like so awesome, because that, you know, it's really interesting looking at the world the way it is today. Part of the reason why we're all so stressed out is every day there's a new truth coming out, and it's a biggie, and it's usually like really weird. Like one of the weirdest ones that I have been like noticing is like this whole Lego thing. I think, whoa, that is hilarious in some ways. That child's toy, little plastic, you know, pieces that you're meant to put together to inspire you, bring out so much, making adults tell the truth. We're showing that, like, it's just bizarre. I watch it and I'm just shaking my head, like, what the heck? Lego. There's so many things happening in the world, but Lego has exposed everything. Like, what the heck? And so this is talking about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So if there is something maybe that's from your childhood or whatever, or you're going to find out definitely what's been going on here. This is not pleasant energy. It's nasty. So, you know, in this reading here, the reason the truth is coming out the way it is, I feel, is because Neptune, or not Neptune, but Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini. And the last time it was in the sign of Gemini was in 1975. Or sorry, 1941 to 1949. And so that was like, you know, during World War II. And look how much we're still learning from that. Like, there's still truths coming out about that energy. And, you know, like, that's what we're in again now. And so I've done several readings. If you want to go back to the May readings and the first one in June, I talked quite a bit about that, preparing for that, because we're going to be, Uranus is going to be in the sign of Gemini until 2033. So for the next 7.5 to 8 years, a truth a day will keep the devil at bay. And it's gonna, I find, like, you may as well just get the popcorn out and, you know, have a sense of humor about it a little bit, because it's pretty wild energy. And I you know, Uranus can be a real pain in the butt for people who are against the universal law, and who have also broken, you know, the laws in the physical. And we do have, you know, there is some elements here of definitely some sort of justice needing to be served here. But we'll look here, we have a transition coming in. There's cutthroat energy. Someone's been very busy with this cutthroat energy to put someone in this position. This could be someone that you know from your past, or it could be just your childhood energy. It could be about something that happened to you in your childhood that you can't remember. As I was talking about earlier, the subconscious mind, and psychosomatically, your body does remember. And then maybe you haven't, you know, we have we have illusions about our childhood all the time. But there is some sort of nasty energy here. We have the truth coming out about something. Probably we'll hear about it in the news. Man, we got hit hard in Canada here again yesterday with some truths. I mean, yikes. You only have to spend a few minutes watching the news, and it's good to find out what's going on at the top, because it trickles down, and so it can give you some clarity as to maybe why things aren't working out for you. It can, you don't have to spend a long time there, and you don't have to get emotional about it. Be like the rebel with the wands. I just want the information. I don't want the emotion. And then this is talking about the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. And we have the Knight of Swords is panicking. I feel that he's panicking because you got up. And hidden illusions are coming out. The secrets about what have happened are coming out. God's involved now. In court, what do you say? I'll tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It's already, court is in session in the spiritual realm, and judgment has been called. And so that is eventually going to come down to the physical. And that's what we're seeing in the world right now. So I'm going to clarify with my oracle here. I really thank you for your likes and comments. If you're leaving the reading, thank you for your time and energy, and your likes and your comments and subscribes. I really appreciate it. It's helping me build my channel. I'm really enjoying this. I feel like I find these readings very beneficial with a lot of information, and I love sharing information to empower you. And that's my goal. So I do appreciate hearing comments from you and seeing if there's anything else that I can change maybe about the readings that you feel would benefit. I've had some good advice from some people in my comment section. I really like the energy. Thank you. This is from my oracle, Tales from the Vector. This is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. The numbers on these cards represent the paintings. There's 64 of them. I completed them in 2020. I started the oracle in 2007. This is the order that the numbers represent the paintings, the order that they're listed in my gallery on my website. And I will also put them down below in the description box in the order they appear here. A picture paints 1,000 words. It may give you further clarity. So we have this energy here of Capricorn. And so the Capricorn energy is talking about ambition. Remember what we talked about that? Capricorn can see the possibilities and challenges. Capricorn is the senior, most mature sign from the Pentacle energy. And this is matters of earth. So they're the most ambitious, and they are very disciplined. The glyph for Capricorn is a mountain goat with a dolphin tail. So you can imagine climbing a mountain and deciding, I'm going to get there. Very disciplined. They take steps of action. If they fall down, they get back up. So this energy is very beneficial for if you're feeling in this energy here. We have some anger here. There's some weird energy here, the hair trigger temper. There could be something that happened in your past. We don't know exactly what that is. Your subconscious mind, I'm getting, does know. Meditate and pray on it, and it may empower you to move forward in that energy. And, anger, you might be angry when you find out the truth about something. Just remember that anger is the gift that keeps on giving. So angry people raise angry people. And like someone could be angry about something like from 4 generations, great-great-great-grandmother was pissed off. And now she raised off, pissed off, and it goes down. And by the time it gets to you, you're like, okay, what are we angry about again? We're supposed to be angry. Do we have to be angry? Is it okay to not be angry? It's that type of energy. Mother's worry has been showing up in a lot of the readings also. I just feel a lot of people are a little stressed out from the energy on the planet right now. There's so, it's just, there's so much going on. And it's hard because a lot of people feel like the rug was pulled out from underneath them. They really believed in the people at the top, and they hadn't been crushed yet, by finding out, those people aren't what they're not maybe necessarily what they say they're about. We're seeing that constantly at the top right now. And a lot of people look up to like entertainment industry. A lot of those people are their heroes, and then, it's kind of like the rug pulled out from underneath you. But a lot of us, we go through that when we're children, and we realize that, our dad isn't actually a superhero, he's human. It's that type of energy. Sometimes our expectations are a little bit warped, a little bit too challenging for a human to reach. So we have to look at it from the perspective, like a lot of people call the earth mother. And I just feel like it's, that energy, it's sitting on a new passion for life. And it's also sitting on this, the difference in this energy is huge. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Get up. You have to get up. You have to participate in your future to have one. And Trauma Queen is about, life's a slice, hold the drama. A lot of us have trauma in our life, and, the smallest things can actually traumatize people. It's not always the big things. And so it's kind of talking about that fight or flight or freeze. If you decide, okay, I'm going to fight or I'm going to run, like a rabbit decides that very quickly. You'll see a rabbit. They're either going to run or they freeze, and then they're just going to, but a rabbit doesn't fight. The freeze energy can be like when you get stuck in the energy and you're having trouble moving out of it, having trouble getting back up after being knocked down, or you ask for help and you don't get it. And then you ask for some, and you could be asking for help from authority figures that are, whatever. You could have asked for help in several ways and you don't get it. And a lot of people talk about that. They can't get a diagnosis or whatever. And so they feel, now what? Now what do I do? If the authority figures don't figure it out, then and then you see what's happening at the top, you're kind of like, oh, I guess I'm going to have to figure it out for myself. And so that's when you go inward and you pray and meditate, and you might be way smarter than you think you are. So, sometimes it pays just to go inward and be able to get the information for yourself. There's pride involved. Sometimes people can fall into the karmic space of pride where it's all or nothing, and people will do really crazy things just because they want to. They don't want people to find out that they were wrong, or that they either want it all. They're in this energy of all or nothing. They're willing to risk everything, and not all of us feel that way. It's pride isn't that important. We have Aries energy, and I do feel this is talking about that energy of Neptune moving into Aries. And not only that, there was 6 planets that moved into Aries and were in Aries, and it like big planets. And so there's a lot of new energy out there right now. There's a lot of having to learn things, and Aries is about being or doing. Like, it's enough to be, but you're not called a human doing, you're called a human being. So you can just be. But then, to be successful, and that's that, our inner self and our outer self dealing with that energy. The moon is really bringing that up. And then we have temperance. Temperance is controlling your emotions, being being devoted to your path, being devoted to the journey of raising your vibration, being in a place where, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm going to figure out, that just take it step by step energy. And so temperance is when you control your temper in particular, so that you're not in this acidic energy, and that you remain calm and you're devoted to just getting up and being a good human being. That's enough. It's enough to do the best that you can do. And we have the Empress energy. Yeah, if you go through enough trials and tribulations, the Empress is considered a status symbol in tarot. She's in the minor or the major arcana, and she embodies the qualities of all 4 queens, particularly because she's maybe learned from experience in life and getting up and staying devoted to her path and being on that journey again. Like, get up and do it again, that type of energy. Someone's revving their engine out here. So that's like that kind of rev her up, the rebel with a cause. You want to get back up and get out there. Dissemination of information can be about believing in your own press. Elephant, what elephant? I don't see an elephant. Do you see an elephant? Dissemination of information. It's when people talk in talk that they talk above people's heads, and they do it sometimes purposely. But every single different occupation has their own language. You have legalese, and then you have the medical community talking in medical talk, and you have physicists talking in math talk, and you have when you start to realize that, hey, that's all just it's a language, and if you really want to, if you can't understand it, you can go get a book for dummies, a dictionary of medical. What do these medical sayings, what do they mean? When my dad was in the hospital for 4 years, and there was a lot wrong with him, that's what I did. I learned a lot, and a lot of times we had to mask, glove, and gown up every time back then for him, because he had contracted, I can't even remember the name of it, but it was bacteria from the hospital. And people would quite often mistake me for doctor or nurse because I could talk back to them in medical jargon, because I had looked it up. I would take home his, I would make notes on his medical chart, and then I would take it home and I would look it up in the dictionary. And sometimes it would take me hours, but I could look up all this medical talk, and then I would know what they were talking about, so I could ask them the next day what, okay, I understand what you were talking about now, which, and being able to make strong choices. My dad couldn't make his own choices. At that time, he was paralyzed from head to toe, and he could only blink his one eye. So he had collapsed overnight. He got Guillain-Barré syndrome, and it was like the only thing he could do is blink his right eye and say yes or no. So I felt responsible that I had to make strong choices for him, and be able to explain to him what the medical procedures they wanted to do were. So it's that type of energy. You can learn it. I mean, and you might feel better. It's not because you're not smart. It's that type of energy. So I feel that's a good place to end the reading here. I was going to pull another card, but it's the devil. I guess we better deal with it. So the devil's about temptation, sitting at the top here. Devil's been coming in quite a bit into the readings. I think it's because there's so much truth coming out. So I just cover this card up. It's temptation. So let's see what this temptation is about, and cover it with the next card. Lack of awareness. Yeah, lack of awareness. When the truth comes out, it really does empower you, even though it can be really difficult. So the main thing is having missed opportunities, because when you're not aware of what's happening around you, there could be opportunities that the universe is trying to hand you, and you don't notice them because you're expecting it to come up in a certain way, and it comes up in a different way, and so then you don't get it. And so that's the main danger of lack of awareness, or being tempted to believe. When people say believe in yourself, a lot of times they're trying to motivate you. But when you believe in yourself, and a lot of people have limiting beliefs, thinking, I can't understand what the doctor's saying, when all you need to do is go get a dictionary for dummies and look up the medical terms, and then all of a sudden you understand. So sometimes it's just a communication issue. And that could be very true with Mercury going into retrograde right now. So I feel like that's a good way to end the reading. Thank you for your time and energy. I will do another reading for you again tomorrow. Once again, thank you for your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. They're helping me build my channel, and I really appreciate you. Bye for now.